Hi, boys and girls, and welcome to Wit and Wisdom. I'm so excited to be with you today. Today we are Monday, November 2nd, 2020. Can you guys believe that we're already November? Oh my goodness, we just need 2 whole months and we'll finish with the year 2020. Time does fly. It is beyond me how fast time goes by. We just blink our eyes and we're already done with the month, right? So let's get started. Today we are going to be doing lesson 22, part one of the parts. And then tomorrow, even though it's half day, we will be doing our second part, and it's going to be extremely fun. So I am excited for this lesson. Your objective is that the student will be able to use key terms to identify change, process in leaves, and experiment conclusions. So the main part of this objective, and you can see it, is that we're going to be using important words, those are key terms, to identify the change that leaves go through when the season changes. So what? Well, if you look at our objective, we see that we have the word key terms, and key terms is a word that is important. If you continue looking and we continue going through our objective, we do have experiment conclusions. An experiment is to determine something. Then we talk a little more. Here I show you a little bit of the key terms that we might be seeing later on through this video and through our live lesson. So we do have chlorophyll, that it's a natural color. It's a natural pigment that leaves have. Then we have sunlight, light from the sun, that is very important to our leaves. We have water, that is also important to our plants, and that's a natural resource. It's even important for us. We have a draft, that's a first piece of writing. And of course, we have conclusions, and that is the last sentence of an informative paragraph, and it reinforces the essential idea. That's what a conclusion is. So how are we going to be able to be successful in this objective for today and tomorrow? So first, we're going to read sections of the book. I'm so sorry about that typo, but we're going to read sections of the book. Then we're going to use guided questions to understand the key terms. What do you mean by that? So I'm going to give you, or Ms. Rodriguez and myself will ask you some questions, and you're going to be able to understand the key terms while we're asking those questions. While you guys are answering those questions, even if it's through a video or through live, we're going to be gathering details and writing them down. Then we're going to explain orally why or how the key term is important. We're going to identify the change of throughout the book, the change of leaves. And lastly, we're going to experiment a conclusion. Why? Why is this objective important for us, Mrs. Alvarez? So it's important to expand our vocabulary, because the more words you can read, the better you understand when it comes to reading a book, when it comes to taking a bi-weekly assessment, or when you're even doing your work for DI reading or for Texas Treasures. So us giving you this opportunity to expand your vocabulary is only going to help you become a better student. So our content framing question for today is the question that we will be answering at the end of the lesson. We're not going to finish the lesson today. Today we are going to be doing part of the lesson. So by the end of lesson 22, you will be able to answer this question that states, what does a deeper exploration of key terms reveal in why do leaves change color? So let's get our lesson started. We are going to be little investigators. We're going to investigate the key terms. So we're going to find those details about the word from the book and from the illustrations, okay? So what do you need at this time? What is something that you need to have at this time so that you are successful in being investigators? You do need your blue workbook. So you need your blue workbook for module 1, and you're going to open it to handout 22A. Handout 22A, and it even says keyword investigation charts. That is where we're going to be using it, or where we're going to be noting our notes of our investigation. So I'm going to give you 10 seconds to get your blue workbook and open it to handout 22A. Remember, Wit and Wisdom does not contain page numbers, so please, please, please go through the pages and look for handout 22A. Handout 22A. 10 seconds. Go. Four, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Make sure you have a sharpened pencil so that you can write all the details. At this time, now that you have your assignment, make sure that you're writing idea 56 and 57, that is your name, date, and goal. So we are November 2nd. I'm still shocked, guys. We're already November. And your goal is 100%. So it's handout 22A, November 2nd, 2020, and your goal is 100%. So the directions for this assignment, it says identify details about chlorophyll from page 9 and why do leaves change color, and add these details to the chart. Then answer the question at the bottom of why is chlorophyll important for trees. Okay, so we're going to be doing, in our life, we're going to be doing some of these, but in our recorded video right now, we're going to be doing chlorophyll and leaves. So we're going to be doing 2 together so that you already know and get a hang of what we need to do. And in our life, we will be doing change, sunlight, water, and pigment. Okay, so you are going to need this workbook for your life class. Okay, so make sure that you do have it with you. Do not be like, oh, I'll get it later. It's the recorded video. No, you get it out because you're going to need it. Okay, it's important that you get that out. So now, before we even start, I want you to think, what do you know about key terms? What do you know about key terms? Think about it. What do you know? Mrs. Alvarez just told you the definition of key terms, that it's an important word, but what do you know about them? Think. And if you're thinking like key terms are words that are needed for us to understand a text, or key terms are for us to, words that we should look at or keep an eye on, you are right. Awesome job. Now, what happens to leaves in fall? Think about it. What happens to leaves in fall? If you're thinking that they change color, you are right. They fall off trees, you are right. Now, to become experts on change, because even though this is part of our our focus question, it is also part of our essential question because they're asking us about impact. How does the weather impact people and nature? Right? And impact gets changed. So to become experts on change, we are going to be rereading sections of this book. Okay? We are going to be rereading sections of this book. And the reason why we're going to be doing that is because we want to make sure that we understand how the leaf is changing and what happens to the leaf for it to change. Now, I know that we don't see it a lot here in the valley, where we see a lot of trees that are like their leaves are falling, or they're changing beautiful orange colors. We do not see it a lot. We do have some, but it's not a lot. But if you guys take a look around different areas around the world, like the book says that in New England there is those beautiful autumn colors. It does exist. It's just that here in the valley where we lived, we don't see it a lot, and a lot of our plants are all year long plants, so they survive the cold, right? So the leaves stay on the plants, and it's okay. I actually like it. So let's turn to page 9, because that's where we're going to start. We're going to do chlorophyll, and it says page 9. So I'm going to turn to page 9. I'm going to read page 9, and we're going to gather details that can help us determine the meaning of 9. Remember, we are investigators. So at this time, become an investigator, and let's get started. While I'm reading, you can also be writing details that you see, because remember, we're investigators. You don't have to wait for me to write the details. You can write the details as I'm reading so that you already have them, in mind, and then we can compare answers in our lives. Just a few weeks ago, all the leaves were green. Back in the spring, the new tiny leaves uncurled from their buds. The green color in the leaves helps them to absorb and hold sunlight. Chlorophyll gives the leaves their green coloring. Chlorophyll is a natural coloring called pigment. So think about those details. Think about them. What details can we get from that page? What does chlorophyll do? One detail I can think of, and I'm pretty sure you guys wrote it too, it makes leaves green. Makes leaves green. Another detail I can think of, and I'm pretty sure you got it because it even says chlorophyll is a natural color or pigment. Now, why is chlorophyll important for trees? If we know that it makes the leaves green and it's a natural color for pigment, why is it important? Let's go back. What does it do? Look, the green color in the leaves helps them to absorb or hold sunlight. So if chlorophyll is the one that causes that green color, chlorophyll is important because it helps the leaves absorb sunlight, right? So I'm going to put chlorophyll is important because it helps leaves absorb sunlight. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to make sure that you copy this. 2 minutes. Go. Now we're going to flip the page and we're going to go to the second key term that we're going to be working on our recorded video. And then the rest of the key terms will be in our live. So do not, when I'm done, do not put this away. So if we read the directions, it says identify details about leaves from page 11 of why do leaves change color. And add these details to the chart that answer the question at the bottom of the chart. Why are leaves important for trees? So let's go to page 11. And remember, you guys are investigators, so while I'm reading, you can write details that you feel that are important. Leaves are very important to the tree. They make a kind of sugar that is the tree's food. Leaves need sunlight, water, and air to make this food. The leaves work to feed the tree all summer long. The sugar is used by all parts of the tree. The leaves, branches, trunk, and roots. The food or sugar helps the tree to grow. Extra sugar is stored in the leaves. Let's go into our details, my beautiful investigators. So what details did you gather while I was reading? If you gathered the detail that leaves are important to the tree, you are correct. Beautiful job. If you gather the detail that leaves make sugar that feeds the tree, you are correct. And lastly, leaves need sunlight, water, and air to make food. Now, why are leaves important for trees? Boys and girls, it says in the page, leaves are very important to the tree. They make a kind of sugar that is the tree's food. So why are leaves important? Leaves are important because they make the food for the tree. So these details are a little bit longer. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes. Or you know what? I'm going to give you 2 minutes. And if you do not finish, you can pause the video and write them down. 40 seconds. Oops, I'm so sorry about that. Awesome, boys and girls. So that is it. We did our 2 key terms. We will continue using the blue workbook. We're going to continue with the word change from page 12, and then sunlight, water, and pigment. So make sure that you do have your blue workbook available for the life lesson. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the life lesson. Bye.